Hi, third graders. Today we are going to be working on lesson 13. This lesson is all about contractions. And bear with me, I am not feeling the best over this break. I've gotten kind of sick, so I'll do my best to talk loud enough for you to be able to hear me. Okay, so again today we are going to learn about contractions. And contractions are when we use the apostrophes in words to stand for missing letters. Today we're going to be, this week we're going to be working on 3 different types of contractions where we have the apostrophe D, like I apostrophe D, looks like this, I'd, and I'd stands for I had. Okay, I had. So if you can see, the apostrophe stands for the letters that we left out. If you'll look right here, you can see that we left out the H and the A. So I apostrophe D stands for I had. And the apostrophe tells the reader that we left out 2 letters, H and A. Another one that I would like you to look at is the contraction, any contraction that has an apostrophe S at the end in our spelling words. The apostrophe will stand for is or for has, for is or for has in words. And we'll talk about that more as we go, okay? So all of the words this week have an apostrophe D, an apostrophe S, or an apostrophe T at the end of the word. So we'll talk about each of those. So what we're going to do today is I am going to tell you one of the spelling words. I'm going to read it to you in a sentence, and then I want you to write it on your desk. And then we'll see if you do it correctly to see if you know what the word stands for also. Okay? So let's do one together so you understand what I'm wanting you to do. Number 1 is I'd. And the sentence is, I'd like hot chocolate, please. I'd. So I want you to write I'd. So I'll do that with you this time. I apostrophe D. Now what do you think I'd stands for in this sentence? I'd like hot chocolate, please. Okay, so think about that. It stands for I would like hot chocolate, please. I would like hot chocolate, please. So the apostrophe stands for all of those missing letters that we took out. Okay? All right, let's try the next one. This one you write on your desk. The word is he's. He's my cousin. So I want you to write he's, and since it's at the beginning of the sentence, I'm going to put a capital letter. He's my cousin. Let's see if you get the he's right. Okay. Now tell me, what do you think he stands for in this sentence? He's my cousin. What do you think that stands for? If you're thinking, or if you wrote he is, you're exactly right. He stands for he is. So the apostrophe stands for the missing I. Okay, let's try another one. Oh, this one's a hard one. Okay, this one is haven't. Haven't. We haven't had dinner yet. Haven't. So I want you to think about what 2 words could haven't stand for. Okay. I'm going to give you just a minute to write the word on your desk. And then I'll go ahead and write it. This one's a little bit harder. I'm going to write both so you can see it. Okay, here's haven't, H-A-V-E-N apostrophe T. So it stands for the words have not. And basically you squeeze the 2 words together, and the apostrophe stands for the O. We take out the O and you squeeze it all together. So haven't stands for have not. Okay, let's try the next one. Number for is doesn't. Okay, this doesn't look like my coat. Doesn't. So sometimes if you think about the two words, because we're basically putting two words together here, that'll help you figure out which letter to leave out. So doesn't. Okay. Doesn't stands for does not. Okay. So we put does not together. And if you can see, the apostrophe stands for the O. It means that we took out the letter O and we squeezed the words together. Doesn't. Okay, those last two were a little bit harder. Let's try another one. Let's play soccer at recess today. Let's. Okay, you write it, and then I'll write it. And what do you think? This one's kind of hard. What do you think that S on the end stands for? Let's play soccer today. I think it stands for let us play soccer today. And that apostrophe stands for the U. So we take out the U and we squeeze it together. Let's play soccer today stands for let us play soccer today. Okay, the next word is theirs. Do you know where there's a library? Theirs. Now, what two words do you think that we're putting together to get theirs? Think hard. Do you know where there's a library? What two words would work in that sentence? Okay. If you wrote theirs like this, you are correct. There with an apostrophe S. The there stands for there is. Do you know where there is a library? Okay, so the apostrophe stands for the I that we took out. So just think about on each of these words, it's two words that we are combining together, okay? It replaces missing letters. All right, the next one, wouldn't. I wouldn't eat that if I was you. Wouldn't. So try and write wouldn't. And we're combining two words. So think about what two words might wouldn't stand for. Okay. If you have combined would not, W-O-U-L-D-N apostrophe T, it stands for that O that we take out and we squeeze the two words together. So wouldn't stands for would not. Okay, next word, what's wrong with Mrs. Louderback? What's? Okay, so try and write what's. And what two words do you think what's stands for? What two words would work in the sentence, what's wrong with Mrs. Louderback? Okay, if you wrote what apostrophe S, you were correct. And it's what is. So what's stands for what is. So we squeeze the two words what is together and we take out the I. Okay, let's try the next one. She's. Tamara is late, but she's on her way. Tamara is late, but she's on her way. So she's. So I want you to write what you think she's looks like and think about what two words we're combining and what letter we're squeezing out. So if you wrote S-H-E apostrophe S and we're squeezing out the I. So instead of she is late, we're writing she's late. Okay, it's erase. The next one is aren't. Aren't you coming over today? Aren't. So think, what would aren't stand for? If each time you can think about what two words the contraction stands for, it's going to make it easier for you because you'll be able to figure out what letter we're leaving out. So aren't stands for are not. We're squeezing our not together and we're taking out that O and putting a contraction there. Okay, squeezing it together so we end up with aren't. Okay, let's try the next one. Hasn't. It hasn't rained in weeks. Hasn't. Think about the two words it stands for and how you would write it. Okay. Hasn't stands for has not. Sorry about my messy S. Has not. So hasn't, the contraction, the apostrophe, takes out the letter O and we squeeze it together. We squeeze has not together to make hasn't. Okay, next one. Couldn't. Couldn't. Tran couldn't hear the phone ringing. Couldn't. So think about what two words we're going to squeeze together. Couldn't's a long word. Okay, so couldn't looks like this. C-O-U-L-D-N apostrophe T. So you can see that we squeezed together could not. We took out the O and put in the apostrophe. Okay, so couldn't stands for could not. The next one, number 13 that we're going to work on is he'd. Dad wasn't at work because he'd gone home. He'd. So I want you to write he'd. And he'd is much shorter than the two words it stands for. Okay, so he'd. He had. Dad wasn't at work because he had gone home. So the apostrophe in this word stands for the H and the A, and then we squeeze it all together to make he'd. Okay, number 14, there. Now, last week we had two of the theirs, and if you had the challenge word, you had the third there. This is the contraction there. They're going to the store. So remember, this is the one with the contraction in it. And if you did challenge last week, maybe you're an expert at this word. Oops, I made a mistake. Okay, they're going to the store. Okay, so this stands for they are, there. Okay, we're squeezing out the A on this one. Only the A, and it ends in the R-E. Okay, next one. These are the review words. Can't. So everybody write can't. And what you think can't stands for. Can't. And then we have cannot. So we take out the N and the O and put the apostrophe and you end up with can't. Okay. Isn't. Isn't it past your bedtime? Isn't. So I want you to write isn't. Okay, and isn't stands for is not. We're leaving out the O this time, okay? Is not. Isn't it past your bedtime? Okay, I will review the challenge words on the next two videos, okay? I want to go over the worksheet real quick before we run out of time. Today's worksheet is contractions, page 190. Write each basic word under the correct heading. So the heading's contractions combining a base word and not. So any of these that stand for not, the ones that end with the N apostrophe T. Okay, this one, contractions combining a base word for is, us, or has. So this would be all the apostrophe S words. This one would be the apostrophe RE.